Welcome to the Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week preview show presented by Mercy, the official orthopedics and sports medicine provider of the Missouri Valley Conference. With Coach Ryan Pedon, I'm Harry Schroeder, and Wednesday night at 8 o'clock on your local Gray media station on Matrix Midwest here in St. Louis, the Redbirds will be taking on the Drake Bulldogs. And Coach, you guys have been continuing to struggle with injuries and sickness. What's the status of your club today?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to find out here later this morning. So I get an update about every 12 hours. As of last night, we've got one guy that is sick and going to stay away from the team for the next 3 or 4 days, I think. And then we had a couple guys that were out over the weekend that I'm going to know more on this morning. So it's part of it. You know, we have a long season going through the winter months, and there seems to be something pretty good going around, and we got to be able to navigate that.
It's just a struggle. Even some of the walk-ons I heard have been afflicted. I mean, that's tough sledding.
Yeah, we had 9 players at our last practice in total, including walk-ons, and so we've been down a little bit, but hey, that's like I said, that happens. We got to be able to navigate that and do the best we can.
You guys have been in games, tough games. It was a tough one this weekend. And then you go right into the fire and have to go to Drake. Talk a little bit about taking on the Bulldogs. They're a terrific basketball team.
Yeah, they're a terrific team. I think you're in the fire for 20 games, regardless. You know, I had a reporter ask that after one of our recent games. You know, with our upcoming schedule, and I think coaches very rarely look at the standings this time of year. I think you're navigating each game for what it is. It's a matchup. You got to be able to play to your strengths, neutralize your weaknesses, and take away what your opponent does best. So us going to Drake, they've had a great season. Very talented team. They play well together. They're just sound and tough, and very committed to winning from what I see early on here. But we'll have to be really good, and we've been right on the precipice of being very good for 40 minutes. We haven't quite put that together like we need to, and we've had some painful moments as a result. But pain can also be a very powerful, helpful remedy for growth, and we got to be able to process these moments in the right way, and ultimately improve and learn from them. So the next challenge we have up is a really good team, and we'll have to continue to be better.
You have a great fan base. They have a great fan base. What kind of role do fans play? Obviously, teams are typically better at home than on the road, and some of that's just being comfortable in your own gym, but some of that is the fans.
Well, sure. I think the fan support, that's one of the things that really drew me here to Illinois State in the first place. Was I knew this is a proud fan base. I know they're very hungry. The reality is it's been a long time since we've won at the level that we aspire to win at. And 1998 was the last year we've been in the NCAA tournament. So we're running towards that. We're not running from that. We're leaning into that. Our fans are very hungry as ever. But I think you see across our conference, there's varying degrees of it, but there's very proud fan bases that are rooted in, these schools, these basketball programs, and have been for a long time, Harry.
Chase Walker had a big game scoring for you the other night, 9 rebounds, I think, as well. Just talk about his continuing growth. I know in the offseason worked on his body. He's come on, had a really good season, but it seems like even his game is evolving and growing as the season unfolds right before us.
It is. Chase he's had a breakout season, no question about it. He's reaping the benefits of all of his hard work in the offseason. And, that came on and off the floor. What you're seeing emerge here, I think people are realizing, man, he can shoot, and wow, he can pass. And those are all things that we've known about Chase. And I think the plan with him all along was to celebrate the small victories, continue to encourage his progression step by step. I don't want to skip steps, especially with a young man that has such a high ceiling as he does. And from where he was a year ago to where he is now, It's simply amazing. I've been doing this a long time. I've never seen a transformation in 1 year like Chase in terms of his body. He deserves so much credit for that. Our strength coach, Ryan Swenson, is high level and has done a great job with him. And our nutritionist, Sarah Wright, has really connected with Chase well beyond what her job description is. She's connected with him on a level that has inspired him. And I would say that for both the strength coach and our nutritionist, they've really inspired him. And what you're seeing is a result of, conscious decisions that have shaped his habits and ultimately are shaping the results before our very eyes.
But and I don't want to sound super philosophical, but that's what college is all about, right? Is growing up and learning and maturing.
It's a process, even in the midst of some of what we're going through or most teams go through, you go through trials and tribulations. We've had a couple gut wrenching losses, two at the buzzer that could bring you to your knees if you let it. But one thing I always try to do as a coach and as a leader here is to try to maintain perspective, especially in moments like this. And you're right, Harry. We're teachers. We're navigating life for these 18 to 22-year-olds and hoping to prepare them. That's how I view my role. Is I want to prepare these guys for life on and off the floor. And learning life's lessons through the game of basketball can be a very valuable thing, a very powerful thing in a team setting, but also as individuals. And you have to lean into moments like this if you want to grow, and you got to be able to withstand. Only the strong survive. I had a former mentor and the guy I worked for, Charlie Coles, and he said this. He said, "If you ever see me fighting a bear, help the damn bear." He said, "Pour honey on me." And that was his way of saying to our team, "Don't feel sorry for yourselves. Buck up. You're taking on a bear right now." And we all are. We're all taking on a 20-game gauntlet here. You're fighting the bear, a bear, 20 nights a year. And, you got to be able to withstand and, embrace the fight that's required, win, lose, or draw. And wins and losses come in all shapes and sizes, Harry. You know that. And some are more, some are more gut wrenching than others. And the same thing I would say to my team today at practice would be after a tough loss would probably be very similar to what I would say after a big win. And we got to continue to improve day by day.
A guy that has been winning for you and in all this attrition you've gone through, and a guy that's had to play this part and that part and another spot is Jordan Davis. Talk about him a little bit.
Yeah, Jordan, I'm really proud of Jordan. When I see Jordan, I see a young man that is truly comfortable in his own skin now. And he has leaned into not only what this team needs from him, but he has leaned into his strengths. And he's really valuing that. That requires, sometimes that requires more than you would think as a young person, right? There's a vulnerability that's required, Harry, because we all have high aspirations of what we think we can be and what we want to be and what we think we should be and what people on the outside tell us we should be. But when you get down to it, these are individuals playing a team game. So there's a level of sacrifice that's required for the teams and the players that embrace that. I think there's rewards for those players and those teams on the other side.
Yeah,
and what you're seeing with Jordan is just that.
Yeah, I've just been so impressed by you've needed him to shoot threes or go get rebounds. I mean, I've just been impressed by the way he's willing to fit any kind of role. You do take on the Bulldogs this week. Man, they're a winning team. They know how to win. Talk about how you try to match up with, fight through their slow tempo offense and outstanding defense.
Yeah, they're just sound and solid. It's a hallmark for winning in this league for a long time. I've studied the historical data in our conference. The teams that win the most and are the most consistent over time are not always the most athletic. They don't always have the highest jumpers or the longest guys. That helps. That can help. But they definitely have the most disciplined teams and the most disciplined individuals and the guys that are most committed to winning and fighting for every possession. And that's what I see with them. Been really impressed with them. That their blueprint, it works, and it certainly has helped them that they have guys that understand what their coach is looking for coming in the door. Bringing those guys, I think it's undeniable. It's been a major benefit to their program because there's a level of familiarity, and that's not to take anything away from them. That's to praise them because those guys have stepped up here in weight class, and I think their culture and their way of playing, their commitment to playing a certain way, that's been very evident to me.
It'll be a spectacular game in Drake on Wednesday. Our Wednesday night coverage begins at 8 Central. For information on where you can catch the games, head to mvc-sports.com. For the Missouri Valley Conference, I'm Harry Schroeder.